Okay, great then. So as what I've mentioned, our next lesson has something to do with working on real problems pertaining to circle. So it's necessary for you to recall the theorems that we have discussed in the past lessons so that you'll be able to work on each problem. So for this problem, this is something to do with inscribed angle. But let's change the given. So instead of working on the measure of angle NBD, we are actually going to work on the measure of angle ADB. So to recall, we have to define what's an inscribed angle and discuss the inscribed angle theorem. So again, when we say inscribed angle theorem, the measure of an inscribed angle, for example, here in our illustration, we have ADB, angle ADB. So the measure of angle ADB is equal to one half the measure of its intercepted arc. So its intercepted arc is arc AB. So substituting the given in the formula, we have measure of angle ADB equals one half of 60 degrees. So we can say that the measure of inscribed angle ADB equals 30 degrees. So next we have another problem. So involving identical metal balls. So here we have two identical metal balls with a radius of 20 cm. And they are suspended at the same height from the ceiling of a museum. Now, the first ball hangs by a single wire here, while the second is connected to two wires that are tangent to the circle as shown in the figures. So each wire connected to the second ball measures 20 cm. The question here is how long is the wire of the first ball? So we are asked to work on the length of this wire from the first ball. So we have to consider or recall a theorem that would best solve the problem. So considering the given, this wire is actually the same with this one. And we will try to solve for the length of this segment, line segment. So let us assign a variable for this. Let's assign x for this one. Now, if we continue, draw a line passing through the center of the circle. So we are able to create a diameter here, which is also considered a secant, which extended until this point that intersects this tangent or either or both these tangent segments. Now we have secant, we have tangent. So which theorem can we recall for us to solve the problem? And we are actually dealing with the length of this one. We're trying to solve for the length of this one. So we have tangent and then secant. We can consider tangent secant segment theorem. So how about this theorem? So whenever a secant and a tangent intersects at an external point, then the square of the tangent segment, for example, here the length of the tangent segment or the square of the length of the tangent segment equals the product of the length of the secant segment. So since this is the diameter, we can say that the length is 40 cm given that the radius is 20. So The square of the tangent is equal to the product of the length of the secant. So the length of the secant is the diameter and this extended part. So this is x plus 40 and the product of x plus 40 and the length of the extended part, which is x. So simplifying the equation, we have 20 squared and then we multiply the right side. So we have x squared, x times x is x squared, and then 40 times x is 40x. So placing everything on the left side, equating the equation to 0, we have x squared plus 40x minus 400 equals 0. Now, this quadratic equation, we cannot come up with a factor or factors of this quadratic equation either by trial and error or considering this equation as perfect square trinomial. So, what we can do is to recall the quadratic formula. So, what's the formula for quadratic? So, we have x equals negative b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So in the given here, a is 1, b is 40, while c is negative 400. So substituting the given in the formula, we have x equals negative 40 plus minus square of 40 less 4 times 1 times negative 400. So this will now then be plus since we place the negative of this 400 to this one. So negative of negative would mean plus or addition. And then all over 2 times 1. So we have x equals negative 40 plus minus square root of 1,600. So that's 40 squared plus 1,600 again. The product of 4, 1, and 400. And then over 2. So we have negative 40 plus square root of 3,200 over 2. Anyway, I allowed you to use calculator. So you can just enter the given in your calculator, then press equals. So you'll come up with your answer. So this is when simplified, x equals negative 40 plus minus um 40 square root of 2 all over 2. So we see that both terms of the numerator have common factors with the denominator. So we can simplify this to x equals negative 20 plus minus 20 square root of 2. Now, we do not consider a negative value since we're talking here of distance or length. So this will come up with x equals negative 20 minus 20 square root of 2. And then another value of x is negative 20 plus 20 square root of 2. So we will not consider this as the solution since the value here will be equal to will be less than 0. So this will be the answer. So the length of the wire from the first ball equals negative 20 plus 20 square root of 2 meters. I mean centimeter or its approximate value. Okay. So approximate value is multiplying this 20 to square root of 2 plus negative 20, round off to two decimal places. Then another problem here pertains to arc length. So a Ferris wheel has a diameter of 50 meters. So a rider travels along the wheel covering an arc of 120 degrees. For example, originally the rider starts to sit here and then travels until here. So this signifies an arc of 120 degrees. Although the arc length was provided, but this has something to do with working with the arc length. Arc length here. Okay, so we know that arc length equals the product of theta in radian measure and radius. So this must be in radian measure. Okay. So we know that theta here, since the theta central angle is intercepted by 120 degrees. So this must be 120 converted to radian. So this is 2 pi over 3 radians. And then radius equals 25 since the diameter is 50. So the arc length equals the product of 2 pi over 3 and 25. So we have 55 over 3. What's the unit? Meters. So this is the length, no? So this is the distance the rider traveled from forming covering an arc of 120 degrees. Or to its approximate value, you multiply 50 by 3.14 divided by 3. Okay, rounded off to two decimal places. So another arc length problem, something to do with the movement of the second hand of the clock. So the second hand moves from the 12 to the 4. So here originally the second hand is on the 12 and then it moved going to the 4. Okay? And the movement had created a 120-degree rotation. Now, if the clock's second hand is 15 centimeter long, so normally the second hand is the radius. So as you can see here, so we have the radius equals 15 cm. And then theta must be 120 degrees again, which is equal to 2 pi over 3, since the angle is intercepted by an arc measuring 120 degrees. So again, solving for the arc length, we have 2 pi over 3 times 15. So we have 10 pi, 10 pi centimeter. Okay, another problem has something to do with a circular tunnel, which has a diameter of 8 meters. If the road inside the tunnel is 6 meters wide, how high is the tunnel at its highest point above the road? So we have to first visualize the problem. Okay? So first, we can consider the circular tunnel as a circle, as a circle with a chord. Okay? And that chord is actually represented by the road, which runs across its base. Okay? Across its base. So basically, if we have this circle here, okay, and then we have the road here, okay, and then this is the center of the circle, for example, here, okay, and then the highest point of the tunnel corresponds to the corresponds to the center of the circle. Okay. So, for example, this is the center of the circle. Now, we can create a right triangle. Okay. If we draw a perpendicular, if we draw a perpendicular line, okay, from the center of the circle to the road. So, here. Okay. And then this perpendicular line, take note, bisects the road, meaning it splits the 6 meter chord into two equal parts of meters. So they're congruent. So we can assume that this is 3 meters. Is it meter? Yeah, meters. The hypotenuse of the right triangle is the radius of the circle. So we can draw from here to here or here to here. So here. And we know that the radius is 4 meters since the diameter is 8, right? Okay. Now, one leg of the triangle is half of the road with 3 meters here. And then the other leg is the one we are actually trying to solve. And this is the highest point above the road, no, the height. So since we have right triangle here, we can consider Pythagorean formula. Okay. Which states that the square of the longest side equals the sum of the squares of the other two sides. So if we will let C as the radius, which is the longest side, so we have 4 squared here. And then we have, let's say, a squared or let's assign this to x squared, and then b squared will be 3 squared. So we have x squared equals 4 squared minus 3 squared. So x squared equals 16 less 9. Then we extract the square root. We have x equals 7. So square root of 7. So meaning the height of the tunnel or the highest height of the tunnel must be equal to square root of 7 meters. Or you may work on the approximate value of square root of 7 and then round that off to two decimal places. So, in working with problems pertaining to circle, so it's necessary that you know how to visualize the problem. And another thing, we should know how to recall or think of the previous theorems that you have learned and apply that theorem for you to come up to solve with the problem. Okay? So our next topic will be on distance formula. So bye for now.